people on. Christopher in UK, you're on first once again. Joseph in Nevada, USA is on. How far is Falmouth from Halifax? Depends if you're talking about Halifax, Nova Scotia or Halifax, England. Morning, Joseph. Ushild's on in Norway. Ida Marie's on in Washington, D.C. Icy D.C. apparently. Okay, stay safe there. Ron's on in Washington State in the U.S. Thomas is on in Illinois in the U.S. Jane's on in South Carolina in the U.S. A lot of Americans on today. That's good. 9 degrees in Falmouth. Let me check what the weather was in today. What's the blue hour in Norway? I want to hear more about that. Stephen's on in Port Lincoln, Australia. Gary's on in Surrey, British Columbia, 8 degrees Celsius there. Wow, Charmaine's on in Maine in the U.S. 11 degrees in negative 11 degrees Celsius in central Illinois for Thomas. 14 degrees in Athens for Roger in Greece. Wow, we've got a lot of people on. Thank you so much for coming on and being ready for another live stream here at the end of the month, which means it's the end of Stamp of the Month for January. So that video is already filmed and ready to be released. It will get released after our live stream today. So we do have a winner. So congratulations early to them. You'll find out who it is as soon as you watch the video, I guess. And then tomorrow we will have a new Stamp of the Month. So I'm excited about that, having another video there. And then, spoiler alert, next week, Stamp versus Stamp returns. So I've got to get on filming that too. I've done some stuff with Smokey, and he's all ready to go. I just have to do my part in order to get ready here as well. Mitty is on in Finland. Minus 20 degrees there, but she's at the theater. So thanks for popping on. Heading back off. Fan Pride, 11 degrees Fahrenheit in West Virginia. Welcome. Kind of a magical dark. What is darkness? We have blue sky for about an hour in the winter. Wow, okay, that's kind of depressing. Yeah, my new shirt. If you tuned in yesterday, you will have saw that I ordered a little bit of merch, including key rings, a stamper, a mug, which isn't here as well, some stickers, and I'm thinking ahead about 3,000 subscribers. I want to do a prize. I'm not sure how we're going to give it out, but I might order some more stickers too. I'm thinking of some specific brand stickers. And now I've got the That Dad Guy stickers, but something a little bit more fun that maybe other people would want to use too. So I might do an order of that and then do that part of the giveaway, maybe with a keychain, maybe with some blank postcards, you know, put up something fun together. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I need to do for that. But we're only 14 subscribers away from 3,000, so it's getting very close. Love my new shirt. Thank you very much. Okay, I would say in the fit, it fits okay right now. Now, if I'm scrunched over, it kind of looks like it doesn't fit very well. But if it was to go in the dryer, I think it would shrink a little bit and it would be too tight for me. So, lesson learned through Vistaprint, I think I need to go one size up just to allow for, you know, a possible change in the size as it gets washed. What else we have here? Hooray, Stamp versus Stamp return Smokies. Yeah, we're looking forward to that again. Minus 9 degrees for Monty in Saskatchewan. That's pretty good because it was minus 39 before. Whew. Anatoly, welcome. Where in Canada are you? An autograph pic of me. Who really wants an autograph picture of me? Yeah, I don't know if it's something that you wanted. Maybe I could do something like that. I don't know. An Etsy shop. You know, you're not the first person to talk about whether I should get into some merchandising, and people might be interested in that. I don't know. I still think that I'm way too small of a channel to have merchandise, but Thomas got his first post-crossing postcard from Finland. Awesome. I need to lose some weight. Well, that's possible too. I'm not going to take that as a dig because I have talked about that before, that I probably could shed a few pounds. And there's probably some truth in that. I probably could shed a few pounds. I know you've got the key there, Christopher. You're doing well. That was your 60th card, Thomas. Well, keep it going. That's good. Ida Marie got a post-crossing card from Ukraine last week. That's good. Charmaine got one from Alaska. Bangladesh, Ontario. Well, as far as I know, there is no Bangladesh, Ontario. She says, I shouldn't lose. You like me the way I am. All right. I know I could probably lose a few pounds just by shaving this beard off, so that's possible. But I do have a bit of a belly from eating all that wonderful stuff. And I've shown you eating videos, so I'm sure everything adds a few pounds as you go through it. Almost all that banana bread that we made last week is already gone. The casseroles are gone, all those sort of things. And all the stuff that Ushild sent from Norway is gone, other than that hockey puck of salty sand. That is the only thing that hasn't been devoured. Everything else is gone. Now, I did have help with that. The chocolate-covered marshmallow bears, big hit. The gummy people, those were a big hit. Everyone seemed to like that. I ate all the chocolate bars myself. I didn't really save any. Fan prize waiting for first postcard from Post Crossing. How long ago did you start? And welcome to Post Crossing. The beard hasn't really gotten a trim yet. No. It should get a trim. But I get people at work that say, oh, I like how your beard's going. Every winter I'm growing a beard because it just insulates me a little bit when I'm delivering the mail. Hockey powder is Swedish. Okay. The Korean food was very delicious. Barbecue, Korean. Good rainy morning to you, Christopher, in Washington State. Yeah, I really enjoyed the surprise. The food was delicious. The book yesterday that you sent me has already been finished. I'm already done that. Good book. Respect the beard. Thank you, Gary. Old man? Yeah, I'm kind of an old man. That's why I've got the beard. I've got the gray hairs in it. So I'm not too proud to say that I've got some age. And I've lasted a little while. I'm from Moncton on the East Coast. Oh, you had your first received card, Fran Pride. That's good. Good morning, Lila, in Maryland, in the U.S. It's snowing in South Carolina. Wow. Not snowing here. It's a little colder. I can't tell you the exact temperature because I'm not sure. Are you about 51 years old? I am exactly 51 years old, yes. I thought the book was very good. It touched on a lot of subjects. I mean, it came out in 1966, so it was dated for that time period, but a lot of things that are really important today. Reason why it got banned, I'm not sure. I have some suggestions on probably why it got banned because of the sexual nature of the book and all the different aspects within that, but the coming of age and the importance of the characters' growth and development, probably a very important topic, even in today's day and age. Clear skies here, but I think they're supposed to get snow tomorrow. That's for Charmaine. Yeah, I think the snow for us is minimal now. It used to say it was going to be a big snowstorm coming through, but I think it's going to miss us for the most part. At least that's the last report that I heard. Lila got a postcard. All right, congratulations. Well, you're welcome. You're digging out from the big snowstorm that you had last weekend. Compared to some of us, I'm just a wee baby. Yeah, everything's in perspective where you are on that age chart. So 51 could be very old, or it could be very young, or it could be right in the middle. But I still feel good, so everything's going well. But yes, back to Christopher, I probably could lose a few pounds. I bet you covered the book with brown paper to hide the book. Actually, I didn't. I think I showed the book its entirety when I presented it yesterday. There wasn't anything explicit that would be questionable on it. There was a woman on the front. Ooh. There was nothing revealing showing, so. Have any of you read that book? That's what I want to know. Have any of you read Without a Stitch by the Norwegian author that came out in 1966? Thomas said, I've received cards that expired from the sender and the cards that I have acknowledged that have already been marked as expired. That's weird. You might have the police knocking on your door. I might, but I don't think so. I don't know. If they are, it's not for the reason I read a book. Yeah, thanks, Gary. I think it's going to get rubber stamped, that contract. We've been told by the union to vote yes. I think everybody wants to vote yes at this point in time. So I think as soon as we get to vote on it, it will just pass. So I'm glad you've read it too. I mean, you recommended it, so I'm glad you read it. Christopher has not read it. You may with my recommendation. Well, there you go. Now, I can tell you, this book isn't for everybody. It is graphic in its sexual nature, so there's the disclaimer on it, whether that is a plus or a negative for you in reading it. Not everybody wants to read that, so. But I think everybody should have the choice to read whatever they want to choose. That was what my my stand was yesterday when I said when this book got banned. I don't believe in banning of books. So if you want to read it, read it. If you don't, don't. That's the choice that we all get to have, I hope. Charmaine says she checked the forecast and it looks like we're not getting any snow tomorrow. All right, so you're starting to miss you too then. That's good. Yes, we should read banned books. That when Ushel told me about this book, that's why I wanted to read it. I wanted to have the option to know, why would someone take a piece of art or a piece of literature or however you want to describe it. Someone might say a piece of pornography, but who should get to have the right to tell you what you can and can't read? I don't want to be able to one day go into the Louvre and not be able to see the Mona Lisa because someone says that it's not appropriate, or to see a picture by Botticelli or a statue by Michelangelo that someone says is not appropriate. I want to be able to have the right to say whether it is appropriate for me or not. So if you guys hear of banned books and you have a copy that's in English, send it to me. I'll read it. Michelle says it's an important book, that Ida Marie would like it. Stephen says he's heard of Without a Trace, but have never read it. Some of my friends are at uni had read it. Okay, so it's not uncommon to you. Yeah, you can always read a chapter to decide. I couldn't find it here to buy, so that was one of the things. O'Shell found it in Norway and sent it to me. Christopher doesn't believe in banning things. That's good to hear. Yeah, the statue of David would probably get banned before the Mona Lisa, but who knows? What is and isn't pornography is subjective. Yeah. I remember when, the name is going to escape me now. The owner of Hustler magazine had all the charges against him. Someone's going to know the name and give it to me, but but he got his right to produce was there. I think it was more that Playboy didn't like the competition, and yes, Hustler magazine was more graphic than Playboy ever was. Here in the U.S., they had banned books week September, and I attended a play for each actor on stage. Read the page from the band. That's cool. They went and read the pages. Good on them. Larry Flint. Thank you, Gary. I knew someone would know the name. Yeah, he had it. Howard Stern also had some problems with his rights to what he could talk about as a shock jock on the radio and on television, but was managed to get through that too. Hugh Hefner was with Playboy, but yeah, Larry Flint was the gentleman that person that had all the legal troubles with Hustler magazine. Christopher's favorite books are repair manuals. Yeah, they're probably not going to get banned. Thank you, Joseph. Came up with a name. Good morning, Philip from Kentucky. Came just in time. We're talking about pornography. It's a big switch from what we usually talk about on this channel on Saturdays. Hugh Hefner was Playboy, not Hustler. I didn't know Larry Flynn was from Kentucky. All right, well, there you go. One of your hometown boys. Made very wealthy. And it becomes a slippery slope into exploitation, too. We talk about what sells, what people can do, and what people can have, but what did it take to get that material? So writing a book didn't hurt anybody, didn't exploit anybody in order to do it. Making a movie, putting out pictures that maybe people didn't want put out, that's when you get into the line of exploitation. Yeah, back in the day, those magazines were delivered in brown paper bags. Now, probably not anybody even barely reads them because you have the internet. You can get it whatever you want, whenever you want for free. So why would you pay for such a magazine? I made people say for the articles, but that's what they said all along, that people used to read them just for the articles. But yeah, the mail used to deliver them in brown paper bags. You know what we still deliver in brown paper bags, though? Reader's Digest magazines. I still have customers that order those, and they get delivered in brown paper bags. So, you be the judge. I just laugh at the U.S. being the home of the porn industry, but the country that goes crazy at the wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there is kind of a paradoxical irony there, isn't there? I would say Canada is less conservative, but still more conservative than our European counterparts. I know when we went to France ages ago, I'm talking after university, like in 1998, we went to France, we watched television, and there were people with their tops off on television at 6 o'clock in the day, selling things. And then you go to the beaches, and they're topless. Here in Canada, there is nudity and sex on television, but it's not till after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, it's something like that you would get that, unless you have something like HBO when you can get it earlier. But regular CBC, if there was something questionable, it would be on after what they would suggest children are normally gone to bed. And yeah, there's no, unless you go to a specific nude beach, there isn't topless sunbathers on our beaches. Playboy had a Braille edition. I didn't know that, Philip. I did know that Without a Trace was made into a Danish movie, yep. Uten something or other? Ushel told me about it. But the author wasn't happy with the movie, okay? During the heyday, they were porn blocks. Now they are corporate blocks. Example, New York. Yeah, they're probably the DVD stores and all the magazine stores and all that. Yeah, a lot of that did get cleaned up. I know there was a big thing by, I think Rudy Giuliani, who actually was the mayor at the time. His reputation, I think, has certainly tarnished since then. but he did a lot about cleaning up downtown New York and pushing some of those kind of stores away. So I think part of it probably was just the fact that the industry had changed a lot too. In fact, Connie Francis has no Grammys. She should have had many. I didn't know that. That's certainly a switch, Roger. You hate corporate blocks. Jane says that she loved the Stig Larsson Millennium series. They were somewhere. I don't know that. All right, so once again, you're giving me something to look at. I will look it up. I did read 50 Shades of Grey when that came out, that trilogy. I was one of those men that read that. See what people miss when they aren't here on the live streams or don't watch it as part of the replay crew? We talk about more than just stamps and postcards sometimes. Many books came after his death written by other authors. Media says, have you heard of... You have to put your phone away now. Okay, Media. I haven't heard of those series of books either. So... Killdeer by Satu Ramo. Now, some of these I probably can't get here, but I'll certainly keep a list. Item Reed's never seen the Shades movie. I can tell you, I have seen the movies. The movies weren't as good as the books. As most cases, they aren't. Well, there you go. Without a Stitch is available on an internet archive. I'm sure Christopher can let you know how to get to that if you're interested. See, here we are. We're sharing our book knowledge and things as well in our movie knowledge. Only books that Gary's checked out of the library in recent years is stamp catalogs. Shouldn't be too controversial. But there are some stamps that have nudity on them, so be careful. Hope no one bans it on you. You've seen the movie but not read the books. Oh, we should do the other way around. Thoughts of Shades, I'm sure, was hyped. Well, certainly 50 Shades was hyped when the movies came out. The books, are they really all that controversial? Probably not, no. They certainly don't compare to the book that I just read. They had a different theme about it. But as I've said, a book that came out in 1966 versus a book that comes out in 2026 and what's available for people to watch and see now versus what was then, and the themes of equality in men and women and things like that, a lot has changed, hopefully for the better. Not always for the better, but you can see that how it's changed. Probably that book wouldn't have been banned if it came out now, but there were some things in it that were kind of questionable. At least for me. For someone else, probably not at all. Speaking of movies, has anyone watched The Housemaid? A movie from the book by Frida McFadden. I have not. What is Housemaid about? Well, stamps just flip by the book banners. Yeah, probably. Roger says in his book collection he has a historical Queen Elizabeth I. Have historical on Queen Elizabeth I. Okay, quite a few. Is Queen Elizabeth I one of your monarchs that you enjoy reading about? If you have quite a few books about her? Oh, Jane loves Scandinavian crime fiction. Okay, see, we're passing along things for other people to enjoy. Okay, it's good to know. So not just Connie Francis, you also like Queen Elizabeth I. And I've got to look for the movie The Housemaid. I should have a blank piece of paper. I'm writing on other things right now. It's interesting, too, that some of the things that we seem normal because they come from our area or our region that other people have never heard of or never had the experience with. So I like the fact that you guys are passing along information from the US or Norway or Australia or Greece or wherever you happen to be, and other people are picking up on things that they might be interested in. So it's a good sharing of information right now. Fami McGrath, hello. We just jumped to 29 people on right now. Only 8 thumbs up, so hopefully a few more people will like it. Hello, hello, welcome. So yeah, any other books or movies we should be checking out? Anything that is questionable that we shouldn't be looking at, but maybe we want to look at, or who knows? Well, Jane's read some of Ashild's suggestions. Now, Jane, how did you get into Scandinavian crime books? What was your inspiration down in South Carolina that got you on that? I'm sure that would be an interesting story in itself, too. Maybe we have a topic that people are super interested about today. That's why people are on. Mind you, I didn't put it in the title because I don't know ahead of time what we're going to talk about. So we've gone down this road. We could be talking about Connie Francis and why she hasn't won any Grammys. Yeah, Stephen, I think that's a flop. But we won't get political. I guess we've talked about some things that are controversial, but not political in the fact that we're talking about one particular country all the time. When we talk about banning books or artworks and things like that, that's on a global level. You got reading Stieg Larsson books, and after that was hooked. Love books in cold weather settings too. Okay. Did I write down? Yeah, so Stieg Larsson is one that's already on there. Okay. You guys all have Scandinavian authors. I read the English author Jeffrey Archer. Probably nothing like what you're talking about, though. I'm gonna have to start a new page just for book recommendations now. Let's go into the garbage and do some recycling. Not that one. All right, so I have to look for. I can only read so many at a time, but. And they've got to be in English. Books you could analyze forever are Terry Pratchett books. Okay. What's so interesting about Terry Pratchett? also have to remember which one of these pages has my response to other people that I can't forget about. All right, what else did I miss here? I'm behind on the Scandinavian crime fiction. I'm still working my way through the Martin Beck novels from the 1970s. Okay. Connie Francis was first female to have 3 #1 hits on billboards and top 100. Interesting. Mengel Zoo by... I'm not going to pronounce that, sorry. Stories of the imagination tend to upset those without one. Terry Pratchett. That's a good quote. Stories of imagination tend to upset those without one. Lee Child, Clive Colster. Lee Child, I certainly have lots of that in my library. My wife reads his. Rachel's read some Terry Pratchett. Clive Cussler. Name sounds familiar. Cussler. We're turning into a book club now. Welcome, Dakota. I've read a few of the Terry Pratchett's. Are a good problem finding ones that I haven't read in my local bookstore. Pratchett books are satirical and find some parts to laugh out. Funny. Okay, good to know. Joe Nesbo is not a favorite of yours. Swinton Wolf, because she's my mom. Your mom is an author? Swinton Wolf. What does she write? Roger says first in 1960. The first 2 in 1960 were composed by the same composers. ESF was take with 2 organs. I didn't quite get all that, Roger. Too many letters. I'm not sure what they stand for. Family author, yeah. I like this. We got book club going here. We're half an hour into a book club meeting. Wasn't expecting that. Jane, you haven't asked me about Costco yet. Because we are going today. It's Saturday. Costco and the grocery stores. Filling up the cupboards. Seeing what other fun things are out there. Book of the month. Yeah. I have Bob Mortimer book to read too. That was given to me at Christmas time. So that's on my list. Bob Mortimer, very funny comedian. So I haven't read any of his books, so I wanted to do that. Jane says, old newspaper headlines are funny, like a grandmother of 8 makes hole in one. Everybody's somebody's fool. That's what ESF stands for. And my heart has a mind of its own. Was take 37. Okay. Was it Jay Leno or was it Johnny Carson that used to have newspaper articles, small town newspaper. I think it was Jay Leno. And sometimes it was all about punctuation. Forgetting that comma changes a whole sentence somehow. Made things really funny. Yeah, poor Catherine O'Hara passed away. She was 71, famous Canadian comedian, mother from Home Alone. She was a wife in the Beetlejuice movie. She was also the mother on Schitt's Creek, SCTV, all sorts of wonderful things. Yeah, huge loss. Beetlejuice was a good movie, yep. Only 71. So you never know. I lost a cousin of mine just over a week ago now. He was 70. So you never know what can happen. Just noticing that I wore the shirt. You were late coming in. We already talked about the shirt. But yes, good job, Sherlock. Dog show, yeah. Very funny in Dog Show. Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Thank you, Charmaine. Yeah, Beetlejuice was hilarious. The second one, eh. First one's really good, though. On your to be read shelf, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. Okay. I have one Jeffrey Archer book that I haven't finished yet. I started ages ago, back when I said I was going to read an hour a day every day. That lasted for a while. I read a couple books during that period of time, and then it fell off. And then I got to get back to it. But I wanted other things. It wasn't a book that really was super entertaining to me at the time, which kind of hurts when you're trying to read something, to try to finish it just because you want to finish it, not because you're enjoying what you're reading. So I'll see if I'll get back into that one or not. Oh, okay. Thomas has read the book that Ushield hasn't read yet. You guys have seen my library, so we like to read here. My wife's a big reader. Her parents, my parents, we inherited books from all sides. My daughter is a huge reader. She read 54 books or 55 books last year. She keeps setting a bar for how many books she wants to read a year. I think it might be 60 this year that she's set the bar for. So she got some on her Kindle, but she also is very tactile like we are, that enjoy to have a real book in our hands to read. You went fishing today, Christopher? So how's the weather? Not too rainy, just mild. I saw the temperature was all right. Joseph read 17 books this year. That's good. Unless you mean for 2026. If you've read 17 books in the first month, that's even better. The Widow by John Grisham. I read a lot of John Grisham books. I liked his style of writing. And then they turned everyone into a movie. And it kind of messed it up a bit for me. The Song of Red Ruby and Lasso Around the Moon are books you're going to read or reread. Tremors. Yeah, Tremors was a good movie. Had a lot of people in the cast, too. Christopher says, book number 1, The Dying Process. Book number 2, The 4-Bar Progression. And book 3, Coming of the Endorsement. What are these books of? Sorry, Christopher, I must have missed something along the way. Who's the author and what's the style? Michael's book was also banned. Well, I'll have to read that one too. If you get it in English. So you've read 17 books in January alone. That's amazing, Joseph. Good on you. Philip's in the middle of reading 5 books. They're scattered around the house, so I'm never far from a book. My in-laws are like that too, have multiple books on the go. I can never do that. I always, if I get a book, I read that book and finish it. I can't have multiple stories going on at the same time. I'm kind of that way with television too. I like to binge watch a whole show and finish a season rather than watching one episode of this and one episode of that one. I'd rather just watch the whole season, finish it, move on to the next thing. I've only heard about it from you, Ushel. That's good. You have an English copy. I look forward to reading it if you send it. You've read 2 books, and one was a comic. Reading's reading, so good on you for that, doing that at least. I think I've done 2 books too, so. If I did 2 books a month to finish 24 books this year, that would be pretty good, I think. I would like that, thank you. And then we can review it on here later, just like we did with the other one. Christopher says, oh, okay. Sorry, that's what you're referring to. Swinton Wolf, your mother. She has written 3. They're private investigator detective murder mysteries. That's a lot going on. And those were, I'm going to go back to her books. So, The Dying Process, The 4-Bar Progression, and Coming Out of Endorsement. So, you guys can look that up. That is Christopher's mother. There's a plug. Look for Swinton Wolf. There you go. I'm going to write those titles down here, Christopher, too. The Dying Process. And the Endorsement is the last one. Yeah, those are the titles. I've got them here. The Dying Process, The 4-Bar Progression, and The Endorsement are his 3 titles that his mother has written. Christopher likes Arthur Ransom books, even that they were aimed at children. Well, that's like Harry Potter books. I really enjoyed Harry Potter books. They were aimed at children. C.S. Lewis, Narnia series, children-based, but good books. What's the other one I read? Lemony Snicket's. Those were kids' books that I enjoyed. Yeah, Jane, we're going to have lots of books to read here. Book 3 doesn't come out till the end of February, okay? Is it Swinton Wolf with 2 O's? Children's book with beautiful illustrations. Yeah, I've read some children's books on this channel too. Way back when. Rob's Bedtime Stories. You're thinking the same thing. Yeah, I've done a little of that. Books that I really enjoyed reading to my kids when they were growing up, I did a bunch of them early on, before I really got into post-crossing and things like that. Part of what that dad guy's channel was reading kids' books. Some of you know that already. The evolution of this channel from push-up videos at the very beginning that were kind of in support of PTSD. So it was the 22 push-up challenge. And that's how this channel started. Then it went to reading children's books a few years later, and then into post-crossing hobbies, car shows, food reviews, all sorts of things. The Golfin book series are fun. Okay, Ida Marie, what are those about? Yes, the Catherine O'Hare stamp that came out by Canada, 2775. Yeah, it's a good reminder of her. Golden Book series, is that what you mean? Yeah, those are children's series books. Came out in 2014. Yeah, it was part of the SCTV series of stamps, I believe. Christopher, how long has your mother been an author? Has that been her whole career? As long as you were growing up, she's been an author? Or is it something she's taken on more recently? And how's she making out at it, too? Does she have to travel to promote her books? Wheel of Time, yeah. Robert Jordan's book, I've read a lot of his stuff. And the TV show was good, too. People, objects, etc. U.S. sold anywhere from 10 cents, making books affordable. What's that in reference to? An everyone question. Does anyone know of any stamp-related programs on TV, old or new? There used to be a program here. I learned about it from a gentleman at my local stamp club. That's how he got involved in stamps. There was a gentleman that came on the TV once a week and talked about stamps. It was like Uncle Frederick or something like that. You loved Harry and the Dirty Dog when we were a child. I've read that book on this channel. I was just looking at the 2 books that you came up here by your mom. Yeah, no, I think there's been a few programs out there that have stamp corners. Um, it's been a while. I mean, the heyday of stamp collecting um, was probably more. You know, if you're talking about when, with regards to television, you're talking about the 1960s, 1970s, in that area. Now it's me. No, I don't know. There are lots of people like Ted Doc Stamps or Silk on the Web, Snail Mail with Smokey. There's all sorts of people you can reference now if you want to learn about stamps. Dakota recommends cat books. Did I read? I've read some Skippy John Jones. It's about a Chihuahua, so that'll be good for Christopher. I've read one of those children's books on here. Did I do a cat book? I can't remember. Cat in the Hat, maybe? Adam Reed bought a golden book at a sale called Scruffy the Tugboat, 1955. Okay. Yeah, Gary says a stamp show as a plot device, Brewster's Millions. Yeah, when he had the really expensive stamp that he mailed in order to spend the money. Mother Goose was the golden book you used for one of your art journals. Man, we used to have those golden books. My parents certainly did. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably in a box somewhere, maybe with my sister. But I remember the bindings on them. I don't think I have them here. I think my sister has them. Stn Main wants to start doing junk journals too. Well, Ushhild is a good person to talk to. She makes good ones. Anna Marie misses the local book sales. Yeah, we've got a few used bookstores around town. I know whenever Day is home, she usually tends to go and pick up a few. She goes to the new bookstores too, but she likes to go to the used ones to find things that are going to be a little bit cheaper. Mother Goose was an episode of Bewitched. Okay. Welcome, Eric from Hong Kong. How are your studies going? Sorry to hear about your job, but I know you'll find something else when the time comes, or get extended with what you have. But I hope your studies are going well. Thank you so much for the New Year's greetings and the correspondence and the nice stamp souvenir. Philip says there was 100 use of it. Oh, that sounds like a bad one. You have 2 cats that supervise your stamp collecting. You're at the exam now. You shouldn't be on this then if you're at your exam now. Do your exam. Yeah, I am going to Costco, Jane. Do you need me to pick up anything? What's different in a Canadian Costco than in an American Costco? Well, it's good to hear from you too, Eric. Hopefully all my cards and things have been arriving for you as well, filling up your mailbox. Probably don't come quickly, but there are golden books on stamps, and Disney copyrighted some books. Charmaine, you guys can connect through Instagram. You're both on there, so that'll work. And then you guys can start making your journals. That'll be good. It's another great way if you've got recycling around in order to put it to good use. It's not something that I think I'm going to get into. I've got enough other stuff on the go, but I really like the look of the journals and people's envelopes that they make and send in. Lots of creative things that you can do with old packaging. I saw Oshel, you sent a card to Smokey as well. He had put out a video yesterday, and so one of the ones that you created was on that. Really nice. I like the stitching on it and the snail you used on the front for him. There you go. Follow Jane on Instagram. Now, Jane, did you change your name on Instagram so it matches your YouTube one now? If you haven't, put out your Instagram name here. If you like, if you want people to contact you. English exam mock next. 3 papers next week. Okay. Well, really good luck with that. I'm sure you'll do very well. Hot food stand. Yeah, we have one too that has roast chickens and things, or you can get your pizzas and hot dogs and that sort of stuff. Unless you have something different than we do. There you go. So look for Peppermint Fence, and that's Jane from South Carolina. So now you'll have a bunch of people on Instagram sending you messages, so you have to go in and pick the ones that you want. You're going to be flooded with messages now. Become Marzi Cat 1. Yeah, you could do that. That's another option. I think what she's having the problem with, if I understand it, is not that Marzi Cat is taken, it's that she's already got an existing account. She just wants to change the name of it. Yes, we have the hot junk food stand in the US. You know, if you just want a hot dog and a pop and it costs $1.50, that's the best place to go. Bang for your buck. It's great. The ice cream that they have there too in the summer is a good stand. I know people come in and buy a fresh pizza pie, a big one. It's cheaper than going to a Domino's or something like that. So there is some real perks about the hot food stand at Costco. You made a new friend from Post Crossing from Lithuania. Is it Skyestia? That's my friend from Lithuania that I met through Post Crossing. It's probably not, because there's probably lots of people there. What are the chances it would be the same person? But a happy late birthday to Skyestia. She turned 30 on the 1st of this month. Yeah, I don't know if I'd rave about the hot dog. I like the fact that the price is good. You get a lot, so it is a quick, cheap meal. Sometimes if we're there as a family and we don't know what to have at the end, we get a hot dog and a pop and away we go, and it just fills that spot, usually in the summertime. Eric, I see you sent a picture or something or other. I can't look at it right now. Otherwise, I'll lose the connection here. Fran Pride has Sam's Club, which is the Walmart version of Costco, I think. We don't have Sam's Club here, but I have been to it when I've been down in the States. We're always hungry on this channel when we start talking about food, because there's so many wonderful things that we can eat. But Christopher's already told me I need to lose weight. I need to stop eating so much, so my shirts fit better. Eric, I will check out the picture after this live stream's done, and we're getting near the end. We're still 19 people on an hour in. That's impressive. Impressive for me, anyways. 19 people want to sit here and chit-chat. Joseph's just made a friend from Guatemala from Post Crossing. Oh, you let him. All right. Well, if he comes on, that'll be great. Have someone from Guatemala on here. The more, the merrier. You had peanuts and coffee for lunch. You know what I think I'm going to have? I think I'm going to have leftover Chinese food. Because not only did I have Korean barbecue for lunch yesterday, we had Chinese food for supper last night, and I didn't finish it all. So I probably will go in and finish that as my lunch after this is done. After this is done, I'm going to post the other video for who won Stamp of the Month, and then I'm going to go have something to eat. Christopher made peas. You've lost me at peas. I don't like peas unless they're fresh from the garden and raw. Wieners and taters last night for dinner. Poor man's version of clam chowder. Okay. There you go. Charmaine's already following Ashil. Ashil's got his friends from Slovakia. Yeah, leftover Chinese is wonderful. There you go. You guys are following each other. Now you can just share junk journal experiences. Eric says government needs everyone to wear seatbelts on a public transit bus, but reverse after 5.5 days. So they don't wear seatbelts anymore? I don't think we even have seatbelts on our buses here. Certainly don't have them on school buses, which is kind of weird. What kind of Chinese food do I like? Usually authentic, if I can get it. The stuff we had last night was what I would call North American Chinese food. So fried rice, lemon chicken, teriyaki beef, beef and broccoli mixture, egg rolls, fried wontons. That's what we had. But if I could get bird's nest soup and chicken and cashew and beef, some of those, I really like that. Philip says they're having white bean soup tonight, and it's his job to make it. We'll do a good job then, so you can enjoy. Buses must have seatbelts in Hong Kong then, maybe, Joseph. Yeah, they don't have them here. Some buses in Norway have seatbelts. You got to know which type of Chinese food. Yeah, I mean, if I got to go to Hong Kong and go to some of the places that you've shown pictures of the food you've had, that would be ideal. Especially if you can have someone local who knows what's good and what isn't. That'd be perfect. There you go, Jane. You're going to have to start putting some pictures up if you got all these people following you now. You're going to have to show them something about life in South Carolina. Picture of Marzi Cat. Joseph says teriyaki beef is Japanese, not Chinese. Have you tried a hot and sour soup from Chinese restaurants? I have, yes. Yeah, teriyaki. It might not have been teriyaki beef, but it was a beef of something or other. Adam Marie says no seatbelts on U.S. public buses. Fran Pride. Where's Fran Pride? Where are you from again? What's your real name? There you go. Now you're going to have a whole bunch of cat pictures. You'll probably get a picture of Dakota from Charmaine. Oh, and Charmaine, I sent one of your pictures, your postcards that had Dakota on it to a lady through Post Crossing, and she got back. She absolutely loved the picture, loved the card. So thank you so much for that. Fran Pride's from West Virginia. Okay, yes, I remember you gave me the temperature there at the beginning of the live stream. Perfect. And your name is Fran Pride. Okay. Is Fran short for anything? I visited West Virginia too. I went down there on a mission trip back when I was in grade 12. I can't remember the community, but we stayed in a high school. And one of the funny things about when we were there, we were helping rebuild houses or fix up houses in poor communities. But there was a military chopper that was landing in the football field in front of the school because they were out looking for marijuana fields. Bushell's got a neighbor cat. France. All right. Or Francis. All of us say we live boring lives, but if your life is what it is in South Carolina, it's going to be very different than someone's life who's in Germany or in Thailand or something like that. So it might be boring to you, but for others to see a different glimpse of the world is exciting. So I guess that's why Instagram and YouTube and things like that show their own areas. You know, I might have said at one point in time, what's so special about Moncton? But now I always say, these are all the special things about coming here because it's different than some of the other places. Did Gary say he was heading off? Did I miss that? Oh, blood donor appointment. Okay, good luck, Gary. Thanks for popping in. Well, we've passed 67 minutes. I hadn't realized we'd gone that long. Maybe it's time for us all to say goodbye. Yeah, Philip's heading off too. I think that's what we need to do. Those of you who go out there, follow each other on Instagram so we can share our lives. Nobody's boring out there. And if you got time and you're still interested in seeing something about me, watch the video that's about to come out about who won Stamp of the Month. I never heard of Moncton until you started following that dead guy. Well, now you have. We're on the map. Maybe one day you'll come and visit. So we're happy to have anybody come to Atlantic Canada. That's it. You guys have magical week.